Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Faitha Humuza and yeah, I was excited to talk to you guys. So today in this video I'm going to be talking about the cost of living in Uganda. The cost of living in Uganda has slightly gone higher than it was. Specifically going to be talking about Entebbe because that is the place I know much about. I grew up from here, I studied from here and I'm working from here. So I'll be talking about Entebbe. But I will be kind of comparing it to Kampala because I mean that's how I can get a better picture out for you guys to understand. But I won't be talking about only that. I'll also be talking about the good things in Entebbe. I mean, like why would someone leave Kampala to come and stay in Entebbe, right? So, is Entebbe for the rich? Is it for everyone? What it's like to be in Entebbe? You'll all get it from me today. Just feel comfortable and listen. So if you're new here, please subscribe. If you love this video, if you can judge by the end of it, you can give it like a thumbs up. And yeah, you can check out all my previous videos for for your judgment. To join this beautiful family. So let's just get the ball rolling. Cost of living. Let me start with the rent. I'm just going to do it in twos, like next to the city center and being far from the city center. So in Kampala, if you're in a one-roomed house, like one self-contained room, one room and toilet bathroom, next to a city center, that will be between 200,000 and 250,000. If you're in such a room but away from the city center, that will be between 150 to 200,000. That is Kampala. In Entebbe, if you're in a one-roomed house next to a city center, that would be between 150 and 200,000. If you're away from the city center, that would be between 100,000 and 150,000. Like, I don't know whether I get the difference. So the rent in Entebbe is lower, much lower than that in Kampala. I've stayed in Kampala for all my university time, and I know what it's like to stay in Kampala. So the rent in Kampala is very high, higher than the one in Entebbe. Let's leave the rent alone. Let's go to the food. Oh, the food in Entebbe, it's very expensive. That's all I can tell you. Food in Entebbe is expensive. Reason being, the vendors, the people that bring food to Entebbe, the people that sell food in Entebbe, supermarkets, these local markets, they get the food from Kampala. So they always add the transport fee to the normal fee. So by the time we go to the market to buy the food, it's like it has an added value to it, like it has an added fee to it. You understand? So when you compare the food in Kampala, the cost of food in Kampala and the one in Entebbe, in Kampala it is much more cheaper. Reason being, it is easily accessible. Like in Kampala, everywhere there is a market. At any day, at any time, there is a market. But in Entebbe has specific days for markets. So if you miss a Tuesday, you have to catch a Friday. If you miss a Friday, you have to wait for a Saturday. But they are not in the same place. They're in like different places. So that makes it really a little bit harder. And buying food in supermarkets, well, that is definitely for the rich. Food in supermarkets is very expensive. But anyway, yeah, all in all, food in Entebbe is much more expensive than food in Kampala. The school fees, schools in Entebbe are slightly more expensive than schools in Kampala. I've studied in Entebbe. I think the reason as to why the schools in Entebbe are much more expensive, it's because I mean, myself, I'm looking for a school for my toddler. She's 2 years, soon making 3, and she will soon start schooling. So I've been, checking out schools in Entebbe. But yeah, schools in Entebbe are expensive. I think it's because most schools here are international schools, if I should say. Of course, the local schools are there, but a school that you look at and you'll be like, yeah, it's a good school, they're very expensive. Yet in Kampala, you can get a very good school, good standards, but much cheaper than these ones here. So if I'm to compare, in my opinion, I would say schools in Kampala are much cheaper than schools in Entebbe, right? Well, let's get to transport. Transport in Kampala. Well, generally in Uganda, the shortest distance border actually there are two kinds of actually not two, there are more than two, but the major used ones are two. There is a taxi, there is a border. So the smallest distance a border can go would be 1,000. The biggest distance it would depend, like it would depend from price to price. So a taxi it would be like 1,000 as well. Then the highest it will depend. So transport from Entebbe to Kampala is 5,000, which is very expensive. Because when you compare 5,000 transport in Kampala, like from Kampala to somewhere else within Kampala, 5,000 is distance is it must be a lot, like a long distance. But in Entebbe, well, transport is very high. That's all I can tell you. Transport in Entebbe is very high. So enough of those. The rest of the things, if I remember any, I'll leave them in the comment section. Like I'll just make a paragraph of a few things if I've forgotten any. If you know any, like in relation to the cost of living in Entebbe and in Kampala, you can also leave some in the comment section for the other people to read through. So the good things in Entebbe. Why would someone leave their place wherever they are to come and stay in Entebbe? Well, there are very, very many things. Let me start with the international airport. Well, the international airport, who doesn't want to stay next to the airport? I mean, but if something happens and you just like need to fly out in 1 hour, well, the international airport of Uganda is found in Entebbe. It is found here. Well, as I'm speaking right now, I'm in Entebbe. So if I say here, I mean like in Entebbe. So the international airport of Uganda is found here, and it's a good thing. I mean, someone that stays in Entebbe and needs to go out will find it easier than someone, of course, definitely that is coming from Kampala. Because if you're coming from Kampala, you will have to come from there like a little bit earlier. Like if you're going to travel in the afternoon, you have to leave early morning so that you come and sort yourself within Entebbe. But someone who stays in Entebbe, well, they don't need to do that. They'll just need like an hour or so to head to the airport. Well, which is a good thing. The state house is located here, which comes with very, very many good things, including security. Security in Entebbe is way better than security in Kampala in every way. Let it be residential, like around people's houses. Let it be around the city center. Let it be anywhere. It is very rare to hear that Entebbe is having riots. I mean, I've never heard of it. I don't think I've heard of any riots in Entebbe, but yeah, all I can tell you, security here is very good. Beach life, I mean like the water beach life, not the other beach life. I mean like the water beach life. Entebbe, it being located along the shores of Lake Victoria, it has very, very many beaches. I can name some. Arrow Beach, Lido Beach, White Sand Beach, Spinner Beach, Peniel Beach, Lutembe Beach. Like, they're just so endless. It's an endless list. There are very, very many beaches. So when I was growing up, my fellow students at school would find, going to the beach as something fancy, but I didn't find it fancy. The reason being, when I was home, my home was next to a beach. It used to be called Sese Beach. I would literally walk with my friends from home to the beach and, you know, have fun, then walk from the beach back home. So yeah, those are the good things that you find here. As people in town, in Kampala town, you know, preparing for weekends to go to the beach, someone in Entebbe will just wake up, feel like they want to go to the beach, and literally walk, go get the beach air, then they go back home and sleep. So those are the good things. Well, the hotels, Entebbe has very beautiful hotels. Reason being, there are many foreigners in Entebbe. People come when, you know, like when they come from outside the country, they stay around Entebbe to have some of the good things here. And as they're preparing to go back home, wherever they came from, they still stay in Entebbe. I mean, because it's, like I said, it's closer to the airport. So hotels are very good here, and they're very many, but they're expensive compared to those in Kampala. Yeah, the hotels here, man, they are very expensive. But we all know why, because I mean, people just have to use them for that short time period. They need to stay here as they're waiting for their flights to, you know, like catch them and go back home. The zoo, I made a video about the zoo. I'm going to put it up here. If you did not watch it, well, you can find it there. You can watch it. Like, I just took you through the zoo. I just took you through what to expect at the zoo. You can just get your family from wherever you are, bring it to the zoo. There is a playground for children to play. There's very many interesting things there. So just check it out for the details. I'll leave it somewhere. You can just check it out for the details. Yeah. So that is the only zoo in Uganda. So, and it is located in Entebbe. Well, if I'm talking about the good things in Entebbe, well, I think you know. By the time I've reached here, you know why Entebbe is just a good place to live. The recreation centers. I mean, there is the Entebbe Botanical Gardens. Those gardens have been there for like forever. I remember we used to take pictures from there when I was a kid, and yeah, they're still there. So foreigners come, like, go there for different activities like birding. Other people can go there for swimming, because I mean, there is a lake. Like I said, Lake Victoria is literally in Entebbe. Yeah, so very many good things are done there. Picnics, if you need to do any picnics, you can just go to the botanical gardens and like just have your fun there. So is Entebbe for the rich, or it's for anyone? I mean, in my opinion, for the time I've been here, because like I said, I grew up from here, I studied from here. When I reached my my university, I had to change. I went and studied from Makerere University, and God just brought me back here after when I got a job. I literally got a job in Entebbe, so I came back to Entebbe. So I know much about Entebbe, but in my opinion, I would say Entebbe is a very good, despite of you know, like food, like I said earlier. Entebbe is just an interesting place to live in. Like, I mean, who doesn't want a secure place? Like, I just imagine myself staying the rest of my life in Kampala, and you like just have to, you know, you're still sleeping, then politics is everywhere, people, tear gas everywhere. Like, when I compare Kampala to Entebbe, I would definitely choose Entebbe. So it's up to you. Let me know where you would prefer. Let me know what you would want your kids, why you would want your kids to live. I mean, for you, you might be stuck in Kampala because that's where you're working. You just cannot leave Kampala. But now your children will have a choice. So yeah, so you guys, it's just always just interesting to talk to you just to come and sit here and talk to you. It is really, really interesting. And for every time you give me like a thumbs up, every time you subscribe, every time you leave a comment, it means a lot. Like, it just keeps me moving. So I just want to know that I really appreciate on everything that you do, watching, leaving the comments, leaving a thumbs up. Like, for everyone that has not subscribed to this channel, well, just feel free to join this beautiful family by subscribing, liking, turn on that notification button for every video that will be coming in from me. So, like, let's just be together. Let's just, enjoy this thing. Well, thank you for watching. See you next time. See you in my next video.